What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Take 5. Now, this man has supposed to be in this studio maybe 4 years.
No joke. No joke.
Welcome, Marlon. What's up, man?
Yeah, man. Respect, man.
All
yeah,
courtesy of Revolution Sound, and of course, Escape Sundays.
Yes, sir.
Right. We're going to talk about a lot of things today.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, you've been supposed to be here for years. So
That's
let's start with Revolution.
Cool.
The sound system. Now, you have a leg of it here in Atlanta.
That's right.
And a leg of it in is it Washington area?
Yeah,
Maryland, DC area?
Yeah.
Talk about the sound. How did it get started?
So, initially, me and Julian started the sound in Atlanta.
Okay.
But really the first introduction to music really started in Jamaica when I was back in high school. Where me and one of my good friend from high school would start messing around with music. We used to go to a lot of parties and things like that and listen to a lot of audio and everything. So we started like a thing back in Jamaica. And then shortly after that start, we migrated to the States. So I was here on the scene, went to events here, and just kind of missed that whole island vibe.
Right.
You know, them parties in Jamaica is like top notch, some of the best parties in my opinion in the world. Yeah. So I come here and hear DJ spin and I say, I think we can do that. I think we can do better than that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So really that's how, and that's how it started.
Right.
I said that to Julian one day, literally. And him say, so why not just do it? And I say, and when him said that, I say it myself, when him said that, I say, why not just do it? I'm say, say, right, I'm going to do it. I could do it. And so that's how that formed. So fast forward, the sound was getting some momentum.
Right.
And in Atlanta, I get with dates and gigs and things like that. And, I get up a play out and thing and exposure. And one day somebody reached out to me. That's one of the sound members now. They're from the DC leg. And reach out and say, I'm going to go on the thing in Atlanta and thing. And we like what I go on. Right. We have a sound up here named Revolution. So when I think about joining the sound.
Right.
But that leg of sound that them kind of more hardcore.
Gotcha.
They do a lot of clashes and
thing, right.
And things like that. And we were our style was I'm more of a juggler, freestyler.
Right.
I'm dabbling in all kind of genres of music. Right. So he must say, we could have really used that on the sound, you know what I mean? Like we could have really used that kind of diversity. I think it would have added something to the sound and it would have bring some value to the sound. So I started sound like a deal. I'm saying, think about it. And I was on the fence for a long time because just like you're a sound man, so like after you build your brand, if you will, it's like it's hard to give it up or like join somebody else's
or share it.
Yeah. And we never really knew them at the time.
Gotcha.
So anyway, we decide for going and join the sound. And then since then it's been
how long ago was that?
I've been a good 12 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been a good 12 years or so. So we go up and link up and, meet the members of the team and thing. At that time, they had a part of the sound in DC, a part of the sound in LA, and a part of the sound in the Netherlands.
Whoa,
yeah.
Netherlands.
Yeah, so I have a link in the Netherlands.
Wow.
Where they were already established.
Gotcha.
So I was kind of like joining the family at that time. You see what I say? So it's a good balance because we in the States and then you have Shabba and them who is in Netherlands and like in Europe, they're big on reggae. So a lot of a lot of the music we get, a lot of the dub plates and thing we get is courtesy of that part of the song. You know what I mean? And then we just kind of govern everything else in the States.
Wow.
So that's all that kind of form, Yeah.
When I listen to you, the way you play and the way you juggle, you definitely are open format selector. Was that by design? Is that something you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah, I think growing up in Jamaica, the parties that was stand out to me was like the fully loaded party them and thing like that. Ras promotion party, beer vibes and them thing from the party that we're going to Polo Club. And at the time when me really get interested in music and my love form for music back in the 90s. So in Jamaica, it was really like the Renaissance them, the Travelers, the Bodyguard, the Stone Love them.
Right.
And those sounds were really creating a lane for themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like them names them sound names this thing still ring
today.
Ring loud today.
Yes.
You know, and still relevant today.
Right.
So yeah, I would call it say, you know, Tony Mataran. I mean, you know, list go on and on. So them man are really, you know, in my mind, pioneers of music. And especially I grew up in a Spanish town. We used to go to a lot of parties in Kingston. So back then in the 90s, hip hop was really starting to break in Jamaica. So we were getting a good blend, a good mix.
Gotcha.
You know, it was something refreshing. It was something cool. It was something. Remember, say, what heap of the collaboration. You know, remember, say when Bounty Killer and Busta Rhymes them and the Fugees them and all them collab there was huge. So that's where all of them things they come from. The remix and all of that. It just give me a whole appreciation for music. And then outside of that, Jamaica just a place where them just play everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do.
Even nowadays, you see it like the
souls,
the
you
classic.
hear more hip hop in Jamaica than you do reggae and dancehall sometimes.
The hip hop, remember say certain time after certain hours on the radio, you can't get no reggae now. Straight souls and classic music.
That is facts.
And on a Sunday, you can't get no dancehall in a beer studio one.
Wow.
So all of them things there, I kind of soak it up and never realize. But it's as I get older and on, I'm start do more with the music. I find somebody's actually come back to me a little more natural.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
wow. Do you remember who the first promoter you played for here in Atlanta?
The first promoter was Trends.
Trends, Leon.
Yeah, it was Trends.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Trends.
That fit your style still. Their type of parties.
And it was actually, Julian was already living here at the time and had a closer link to them.
Gotcha.
And I talked to them and I'm sorry, come in, man, and let's come do some early warm and them little thing there and thing. Them time them not even know me I do. I tell you the truth. Yeah, I'm not even I mix man out some computer and all them thing there. Yeah. Wow. And the man them say come eat.
Wow.
Yeah, so
who were some of your idols? You mentioned Stone Love, you mentioned Bodyguard and Jamak and those places back in Renaissance. Who were some of your idols?
From that era, it have to be them same songs that we mentioned. The Renaissance them, Another Team, Jazzy T, Delana them, Pepsi them. So it's like full circle to think that some of the sound them when we grew up with and actually those are idols in my mind. I was able to play alongside them. You know what I mean? Yeah. The first time I remember playing with Billy Slaughter and them on there, 1996 or something like that. Wow. Was all of that just come back full circle. Wow. Do you ever get name up there and I play alongside them and things like full circle for
Does that ever intimidate you?
No, it's still the first time it happened. I remember I called my bridge in Jamaica and I say, oh, you wouldn't believe like I get booked with Renaissance. You know what I said? I said, for real? And I say, yeah. So it's more of an honor to me.
Gotcha.
Like playing for on a party with some of these selectors. Gotcha. Tony Mataran, them man there. You know, them man that change the game.
Oh yeah.
You know what I say?
Oh yeah.
And then, so when I talk about idols, those are some of the people that come to mind. To date, Steely Bashment, they're on from my young youth.
Early 90s.
And he's still relevant today. We used to listen to some of them on the mixtape, some of the classics, them, you know, the reggae, the souls mix them and thing, and still about.
Platinum Soul.
Exactly. Exactly. So the influences come from all over. And then Stone Love, they found a balance because they were able to play in the Garrison part of them. And then when they still go uptown, go shell party and thing, man. And then the way how Stone Love used to deal with dubplate. You know this.
Of course.
Stone Love dubplate, them sound like 45.
Like records, yeah.
Those
I
are anthems
myself
there.
actually after
exactly.
Stone Love and how they cut the record. How they
right.
cut it up.
And when you think about it, even to this day, a lot of sounds still mimic those sounds from back in the 90s, right?
That was the best era.
Yeah. The Bodyguard, the bass of this, the Stone Love, the Addies, them. You know. Sound system still copies those sound
effects,
blueprint.
Everything. Yeah, that was the original blueprint.
Yeah. Even the rhythm and thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Critics will say it don't evolve, right? Barely evolved.
It evolved, but it evolved.
But it barely evolved.
But it barely evolved.
It barely evolved.
It
barely evolved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about Escape Sundays. The concept, the whole idea, the team. How did that come about?
So after a while, being in Atlanta, assess the entertainment scene and thing. I feel like I don't want to do something on the scene, like create something that was unique. And at the time, looking at everything that was happening, I realized that, hey, everybody I fight for, the Friday, the Saturday. You know what I mean? You used to have like Gal Farm Thursday, so it's like, but then when it come on to the weekend, everybody was fighting for the weekend. So I said,
Friday, Saturday, yeah.
Well, I'm going to just try something on a Sunday. It's wide open.
Right.
It's wide open.
At the time.
At the time, it was wide open.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, what I want to do? What is it? What is it going to be? And for me, it was, all right, you go through the whole week, you work hard, you come home, you probably deal with a lot of things at home, same way, kids, whatever, bills, all of that. And I said, well, this day should be a day where you can just release, kind of let go of everything and forget about all of the troubles and the stress of the weekend and just come into this place, this environment, and just enjoy yourself and just escape. And that's really how the concept was born.
Wow.
And then I think, I can make it different. I said, I don't want to necessarily go indoors. So if I could have find an outdoor venue, that would be dope. And then just make it simple where people can bring them liquor and thing. And even that concept was still fairly new. Obviously, parties like Igloo pioneered that concept.
Beer Vibes, well, no, Beer Vibes didn't pioneer the concept.
Yeah, because Beer Vibes was inclusive.
Inclusive, correct, yeah.
Yeah, but parties like Igloo kind of pioneered the idea there. And at the time, it wasn't a common thing here either. No. So I think about how to kind of replicate the things that me used to enjoy about being home. And so in a sense, it was kind of a nostalgic thing to create a atmosphere will represent us, right? When you think about parties that you would go, in your own native country or native island or something. So that's how I come up with the idea. I mean, I look for a place, and it just happened for me. Them time that me used to, check Carol, big up Nico Simone, big up Carol. Yeah. And I used to visit there, and I look on the backyard, and I say, it's a place that have some potential, probably something can go on around it. So I'm going to talk to her about it, and, it was just...
So you were the first one to do an event in the backyard?
Yeah.
Wow, I remember that one.
Me find a place then.
You busted, actually.
At the time, she didn't realize, I don't think she even realized the potential, but once the ball started roll, then she started put more effort into it and invest in it and thing. And me also want the place to have certain standards. So, me do my fair share of work too, and paint up the fence and all them thing. And
I think that escape sign is still over there, isn't it?
It's still on the light post. It's still up on the light post.
Yeah,
it's still up on the light post.
I saw that the other day. I'm like, wow, that's still here.
Yeah, it's still up on the light post.
Wow.
And so,
how did you put that team together?
So at the time, it was just me and Julian because we were still playing the sound together.
Right.
So it really was just me, him, and Carl.
Whoa.
There was nobody else involved. No, let me take that back. I think after we run the first couple ones, Levi.
Okay.
Levi, started talking to Levi, and still new to promotion and thing, and him did more establishing in Atlanta, the things and larger events and thing, and so we started talking, and we said we'd try at least a season, a run, and see if it was something that would work long term. So, but that kind of run its course, and we move on. Like it just never.
Right.
The chemistry wasn't there.
Right.
Put it that way. The chemistry never did. And so after that, it just became just me and Julian again, and Carol. I think for a while until we leave around there, obviously. but it was always just me for the most part.
Right.
Until it scale and get bigger, and actually met Kevron at Thrive. You know, he used to come down there and party. You know, a lot of people used to party at Thrive. Embrace Saturday and thing. And that's how we kind of build a connection and thing. And me and him start reasoning. And I say, really can use some help with this thing.
Right.
And that's how that formed. And fast forward now, since me and my fiance get together, that's Lexi. Now we are the three.
Right.
So it's really just three.
So it's still just three.
It's still just three.
Wow.
Still just three.
Wow. Who comes up with the concepts in terms of the, you have the pastel wear, so on and so forth? Who comes up with those concepts?
Initially, again, that was me.
Okay.
So when the event first started, you might remember this, I wanted to do every Sunday. So I had every Sunday blocked off from I think April to September.
September, yeah.
Because October can be kind of tricky. So I had every Sunday, once a month, Sunday, blocked off. I'd have a concept for each one. Right? And we start running it that way. Actually, the first Escape That Keep, was a September edition. And people might not even believe this, but I think 30 people there. I think 30 people there.
I was there.
I think 30 people there.
Right. I don't think there was 30
I don't think
people
there's 30 people there.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I say, if people could have just understand my vision, and could have just see this place, because at the time I do a whole heap of things, fire pit and all these things, and I said, boy, people could have just come around here and see the environment.
It was so intimate and nice.
They would love it.
Yeah.
You know? And we couldn't get 30 people come. September, we take a break and come back April, May, June, and probably for the first couple one, I think 50 people really around there.
Sure.
And then slowly but surely, more and more people start come. 50 become 60, 60 become 80.
Yep.
And then before you know it, we probably had a good 300 people back there.
You actually outgrew it.
Yeah.
Was that why you moved?
Well, it did start attract a lot more attention.
Right.
And at the time, me or Carol couldn't imagine that this is what it would have become. And so, obviously the city and everything started running, code enforcement, this, that, and the third. And so we had to move. Yeah, because they needed other things in place that would meet the ordinance for the city. If you know that place is really, it's just it's open, it's grass. Yeah. And I talk about signage and parking lot and all kind of something. Well, that cost thousands and thousands of dollars. We never have. Sheena.
And he wasn't making it.
He wouldn't make it like that. For God, do not like that. So we'd have to move on.
Wow.
We'd have to move on.
So you had moved it to, was it Grandance at that point?
No, we moved from there and we went to, why am I forgetting the name, man? Come now. Snapfinger, man.
Snapfinger. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, in the parking lot. Why am I forgetting the name of this place?
Where they had where Demolition Crew had their stuff. I remember that place. What something center.
Is that own name?
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah. Something center.
Something center. My jaw blank right now. But
something center.
So that's where we went after that. And I was just looking for places, and again, I just saw my mind. I guess I just saw my mind. Omega
Center.
And it was a blank slate. It was just a parking lot. I turned it into some fencing, the whole thing, and put up everything from the ground up.
Wow.
From the ground up. We did it there. It run its course. We went to Jolie's one time. Remember?
Yes.
I remember that. We went to Jolie's.
Yes.
Actually, I take that back. It was Jolie's first.
Before
It was
Omega.
Jolie's first. From Nico Simone, Jolie's first. And we did it one time. And then that incident took place at Jolie's.
Yes.
I got them shut down.
Yeah, got them shut
so
down.
then
Gotcha.
we'd have to find another home.
Yeah.
And that's how we come up on Omega.
Wow.
And we have problems at Omega again too.
I remember that.
I have some problems at Omega again.
I remember that. I remember that.
But outside of that, and this is what a lot of people don't know, and we found this out in our effort to do the event over the years, is that in DeKalb County and in Stonecrest, technically a BYOB event is against the ordinance. It's not allowed.
Okay.
Right? If you can have a BYOB event, but you can't pay, you can't collect for people to come on site and consume.
Really?
Yes. You can have a BYOB event or not, but it's almost like a ballroom setting where you can bring the bottle, but then you have servers where.
Gotcha.
You understand?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'm not nobody come forward. I'm not try to talk against anybody else that's doing it.
Right.
I'm just telling you what
the law is.
What the law is and what we went through.
Gotcha.
Because when people ask, no, why is it not BYOB and why is it not this and that? It's because of that reason. We go through it.
Gotcha.
We go through it with Omega. Now you have some ways for kind of work around it. If you have a non-profit or 401c, you can acquire like a day's pass, a special permit that they might allow you to sell or allow you to bring and do the event. But for an event like us that no sustainable, first of all, we're not a non-profit. So for instance, so if you would have a non-profit, you might say, all right, and you only there's limits to it too. So you only get like 2 for the year. So you might say, well, I'm not mind give you one of mine.
Right.
And you can do the event. Okay, that's cool, but I do 5.
5, yeah.
Right? And every time we do this, we still have to put in the application and then still look on it and I see Escape Sunday. You understand? So you can only use that so much.
Gotcha.
And at the same time, if 1 year roll around and you will need your 2 permits, your 2 passes, then you understand?
Yeah.
We wouldn't have the opportunity to use it. Wow. Yeah. So we go through all of that. And that's why the event also had to move, because we'd try follow the proper protocols.
That's why you moved downtown.
That's when we went a plenty of time. The event almost get shut down because of that. We went to when we went to Jolie's, we did it that time. But Phil was established and had certain connections, if you will, and everything. And then we got Omega. I say literally, we have to down to the city. I beg, like forget that. I'll never forget. They come down to like the wire. Literally, like my talk about the day before we're in the office, the Friday before Escape, the Sunday. I plead with these people for trying to push through a permit so we could have the event Sunday. So it come really close a lot of times where we weren't able to do the event. And then we went from there, and if you remember now, we also came to Granance before.
Yes.
Come to Granance before, we do 3 events, I think it was. 3 events, no problem. We go to the city, submit the paperwork, application, all of that. Now, again, we can't speak to the process, but we know so when we put in application, it come back, right? After about the 3rd or 4th one, the people them say, what's going on here? Them say, this is illegal. I say, how? Because we've been to do this. And they must say, well, I'm not sure how it was happening. You understand? So them say you can't do it there. You can't do it anymore there. They even said to me, why don't you just make it a paid event? You wouldn't have these problems. I say, well, at the time I said, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want
You don't want to change up the
change
concept.
it up, change the concept, and shake it up, and people might not accept it, and it's going to ruin the whole experience and things. So we'll leave it. So we left there and we went to, remember now we got a Lightone at the park.
Right.
So this is the exception because you have DeKalb County, you have Stonecrest as a city, but within Stonecrest you also have Lightonia, the park, and city limits. Inside the city limit you can, which is why events like Igloo can take place inside Lightonia Park.
Right.
You can.
Right.
So we do it, no problem. Problem with it is a whole heap of money. It's a whole heap of expense. And we're not a large event.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we run it, try it. And again, and the other thing too was the time limitation. By 10 o'clock, 10:30, them were out of the place, shut down. Right. And our crowd, even though it's not a late party, but we typically go till 12. So that never work either. So that's when we go downtown. So we had to get out of the cab. We're going to the city of Atlanta, and we did that. And
that's off the one off 20.
The one off 20. So we got over there by DHL, whatever that is. And then had challenges there, so we move.
Parking, all kinds of stuff.
All kind of things, man. Yeah, all kind of problem. Yeah. And that's when we went downtown, further downtown to Ambient Studio, which is what we was year before last. And that come with its own set of challenges too. And when you talk to some of these American promoters or business owners, even if them can, when you tell them about BYOB, they must say, no, we don't want to take on them liability and all of that. And some of them, they want a piece of that bar money.
Right.
Some of them are only...
Especially downtown.
Yeah, especially downtown, you can only get a percentage. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, we just have to make a decision on what is viable for the brand. And we'll have to adjust with a change in the environment.
Was that why you didn't do it last year?
Yeah, we just have to take some time off and rethink the whole thing. You know what I mean? Okay. After a while, I get frustrated. I'm like, I just no want to do it no more. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of the fight.
Right.
But, something at the back of your mind. And after taking some time off last year, I say, let's change it. The event is not only about that aspect. I know it's a big factor for some, but for a lot of people too, they don't really care because they come because of the experience.
Right.
They come for the vibe.
Right.
They come for everything that we do, the entertainment, you know what I mean? And there's not a lot of events really like it.
That is true.
In Atlanta. So, some people disappointed.
Yeah, I saw some pushback on Facebook.
But,
some questions on Facebook and all that. Right. So that's one of the main reasons why I want, apart from the fact that you've been supposed to come in here for a minute, but that's one of the main reasons because I want you to clarify. Because a lot of people don't understand the hassles and what it takes to curate an event like that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of planning. And for anybody that's into events, promotion, whatever you want to call it, entertainment.
Yeah.
You do your own event, Rico.
Yeah.
And it take a lot of planning, coordination, and also take a lot of resources and money.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if it don't make, if it can't turn a profit.
Correct.
Don't get me wrong, we enjoy it. But if for all of the work we have to put out and all of the effort, if you can't turn a profit, it really don't make sense because we're not just doing events for fun or for a good look.
Yeah.
That's what makes sense.
Absolutely.
And so, we take with L's. We take a fair amount of L's behind the scenes. A lot of people might see it and themselves, yeah man, escape, shot. Boy, them rich.
People always see the glory.
We take what else in the quiet. That's how it go. You win some, you lose some.
What are your plans for this year? What's apart from the fact that it's no longer a BYOB?
Yeah.
What are the differences do you have in store?
So we step back from doing so many of them.
Gotcha.
Because you need time to be able to recover from one and have enough time in between to promote for the next.
Gotcha.
So having one every month and not having a proper venue.
Right.
we have venues where you constantly have to build it from the ground up. It's just not sustainable. If I do an event every month, we have to, build. It'll be one thing if I have some place in Atlanta where is more turnkey or them have certain amenities they can add to. But there's not many.
There's not many, yeah.
So it's a lot of labor involved, a lot of work, as I said, at planning. So we scale back from doing 5 to 4, now to 3.
Gotcha.
And over the years, as we analyze the different themes, the All White has always been a successful one for us. And I think the season opener, because once you kind of take a break and come back, people
look forward
to the return.
The
anticipation of the return. And so when we did 2 years ago, when we changed that first one from just being a generic spring event to a pastel, attire pastel inspired theme, it did really well. Okay. So I think people kind of gravitate to the one there. Yeah. The one last year and the one the year before did really well. So, some of it is trial and error too. So we decided to stick with it. Okay. And I think it timed well with the season change.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it give people another reason and it's another differentiator from other things that's happening on the scene. So we kept that. We kept the All White and we kept the season finale. Now the season finale, we just we play with different themes. It might be fall finale. It might be retro. It might be a dancers edition. Yeah. So we kind of keep that one open.
Did you get rid of you had a flag one, right?
Yeah, we did have one. We did have one. We did have a flag party. One, yeah. Right.
So you got rid of that theme?
We got rid of that one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we just have 3. And we focus on that here. And hopefully by next year we can start to explore some other markets.
Options.
And they give it time in between to be able to do that.
Right. So now you have a full service bar.
A full service bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the admission price? Because would you scale back the prices?
Scale back the price. So for anybody who get them early bird ticket, the early bird tickets was 30.
Okay.
It was 35.
Okay.
No 40.
Okay.
Then 45 and 50.
Okay.
All right. That's where that stopped.
Right. And they can get the tickets online as well.
Online.
At the door.
You can do it at the door. You can get online right now. EscapeSundays.com. We also have surge pricing. So surge pricing is really $45 for anybody who show up between 5 and 8. Okay. So you still get for save, Still a lookout. You still get for save. Right. So just come out early. Right. Save a few dollars. And come out and support and have a good time. We have a really good lineup this Sunday. And we're also conscious of the fact that it's not a BYOB. Right. So we're not planning for overcharge. We're not planning for have no ridiculous backup pricing and thing. We want to make it. We want to price the bottles at a reasonable cost where it can be affordable and everybody can still buy and enjoy themselves.
But stressing that the people you cannot bring is
You cannot bring. You cannot bring.
No longer BYOB.
No longer BYOB.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Still gonna have food, vendors there
selling
food and stuff like that.
Yes.
Hookah still gonna be there, Yeah. And it's outside of Granance.
Outside of Granance.
Correct.
Right. So if you see the address, it's Granance, but it's not inside. It's gonna be an outdoor event. Right now, weather look good.
Yeah.
So there's not really stopping us from.
It's very rare you have a weather problem with Escape though. Very rare. Over the years.
So I'm lucky, Or blessed.
Blessed. More blessed.
It must have blessed.
More blessed.
But every time we do an outdoor event, they really roll the dice.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Who's the DJs this Sunday?
This Sunday, Ricky Platinum. First time at Escape. So highly anticipated. He might look forward to it too. Mixmaster David. David.
Yes.
You can never know with David. Yeah. Just always bring something different and something special to the event. Yeah. Novice Bomb, the big bomb, right? Energy, high energy, delivery, you name it. Spoogie, always solid. You know what I mean? And we also have Big T and ZJ Star. Gotcha. So 2 younger guys who, make some waves on the scene.
Right.
And for this year, we want to give the younger DJs them some highlight on the event. So that's the plan.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I often wonder, and I think you just answered my question that I had, which is why you don't book yourself often on that. But because I see what goes on behind the scenes, it's difficult for you to book yourself and your sound on Escape. But I often wonder why don't you?
Yeah, I feel like I have my eyes and hands in too much.
Too much, yeah.
Do you play at your birthday party?
No. Okay. Never do. So I get it now because I realize what's going on.
So yeah, part of it is that come on, make sure we're available.
Right.
For support each other. Anything that come up, we should be available.
And I to be honest with you, I thought there was more people involved. Until you just said there's only 3 or 4 involved. Yeah. I thought there was more people involved. Yeah. You guys make it look so seamless and it flows.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really more people behind the scenes.
If one of the team member them call, we're supposed to answer, you know what I mean? I was supposed to be available.
Yeah.
And you know it go. You put out fires throughout the whole thing. So never in the mindset really for DJ and do it. Mm-hmm. I think maybe once the event get to a certain point where things run a little bit smoother.
Right.
But also from past experience, I just feel like I need to have my eyes out.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. The concept, one of the things I love about it is because it's a home team event. Nothing against people coming in and doing an event, but it's our home team event. When I look at the decor, between yourself, your fiance, you guys do a phenomenal job on decor. Even before people was into decor.
Right. Right.
From back when you first started.
Right.
So I credit you guys for bringing that to the forefront.
Right.
So I'm actually just trying to give you your flowers because I really appreciate what you guys do.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the brand. I see where it's coming from because I was at the first one to this one. So I appreciate you guys and what you do.
Appreciate that. And that's it, man, because being a small event, until you get attendance up to a certain level, you're still doing a lot of these things by hand.
Absolutely.
And what heap of nights, we spend I make things at home.
Yeah, wow.
Lexi, I do a heap of DIY product, DIY product, craft projects and thing. And a lot of the physical aspects is us and sometimes friends.
Gotcha.
And a small group of people that we able to hire. But hopefully people can see too that as the event grow, we invest in the event. Back into the event. Right. So we try to improve the aesthetics. Right. Whether that's with the cabanas them or the sound or the lighting or whatever it is. So we try and put that back into it. So man, hopefully if it as it continues to grow and hopefully as we get bigger and more people attend, then the experience will only get better. Yeah, the experience will only get better.
So the website is escapesundays.com.
Escapesundays.com, man. Escape Sundays on IG, Escape Sundays on Facebook. Okay. So one name.
Do you have this one this Sunday? When is the next one? The second one?
June 14th.
June 14th? Okay.
Yes.
And then the last one is?
I think it's September.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you got
26
time in between.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Three is good.
Three is good. As I said, give it some time for rest in between.
Right.
Because and that's the thing too, when you're a small event, it's like you feel like you're constantly in a promotion mode.
Yeah.
It's like your brain get a chance for rest.
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as we finish with someone on to the next one, it's just you're constantly in that mindset, It can be stressful sometimes.
Yeah,
the anxiety that comes with doing the event.
Of course.
And for living at that for more than half the year.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that. What time does the gates open?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock till 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't come 12 o'clock and ask why the party done.
People will.
Don't come. Yeah. Don't come 11:45 and wonder why it done.
People will.
Yeah. And then remember that after that is Memory Lane.
Memory Lane Sundays.
And so So big up to Memory Lane too. Big up to you and John Wayne and you know Bugs and the whole team. Yeah, because Memory Lane has been at Granance.
Yes.
Now for a few months.
Yes.
Every Sunday.
Yes.
But the team was gracious enough.
Oh yeah.
You know, and we talk about it and work out everything on them. So of course.
Right. So right after
one family, one link, man.
Right after Escape.
So right after Escape, Memory Lane inside. We're right there.
Yep. And I'm playing this weekend. So.
Mad thing. Yeah.
Thank you. Finally came into the studio.
No, yeah.
Kevin them has been in here a couple of times.
Yeah.
But you haven't been in. But I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Likewise. Continue the good work, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. That's youtube.com/RicoVibes. And catch us next time on another edition of Take 5.